Yo, what's going on? What's going on? So last night I uploaded a pre-recorded video about Sha'Carri Richardson winning the world championship for the 100-meter women's track and field contest. And I spoke about how a lot of people online are not talking about this great feat, because now Sha'Carri Richardson is known as the fastest woman in the world. But and I also explained how in that video how when Sha'Carri Richardson was at her low point, for example, failing to qualify for the Olympic Games in 2020 because she failed a drug test, also participating in a race where she was last place, and participating in another race where she didn't win. She wasn't last place, but she didn't win. When those things happened to her, so many people online was talking about it. But now, when this sister actually became victorious and got better to the point of the fact that she won the world championship, beating the former fastest woman in the world, which was Shelly Ann, the former, which is Shelly Ann Fraser Price. Now a lot of people are not talking about it. So now in the comments section, it seemed as if people are trying to make this and a quote unquote black American versus black immigrant type of conversation by claiming that the people who was talking bad about Sha'Carri Richardson when she was at her low point were all quote unquote tethers. And then someone even claimed that quote unquote foundational black Americans did not talk bad about her, which is hard to prove. Which is hard to prove. So if you're going to say that, right? You see, like this is the reason why it's so dangerous when idiots infiltrate online movements, because they'll turn anything into some sort of they'll politicize any little conversation. Sort of like this, trying to politicize this situation to make it seem as if this is some black American versus black immigrant type of conversation, by making it seem as if it's so-called black immigrants or the quote unquote tethers that was talking bad about Sha'Carri Richardson when she was at her low point, right? So I told the two of them that you must prove this if that's the case. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, it's possible that some of the content creators, some of the people on the internet, especially so-called black people on the internet, that was talking shit about Sha'Carri when she was at a low point, could have been from the quote unquote tether community, right? But let's not sit there and make it seem that every single person that was talking bad about her when she was at her low point were the so-called tethers. It was so-called black people in general, whether they were the quote unquote tether or ADOS or FBA or TNT or ABC or XYZ. It was so-called black people on social media in general that was talking bad about Sha'Carri when she was at her low point. That's all I was talking about. But when idiots infiltrate a movement, they'll try to politicize any types of conversation to try to make it fit the narrative of their pathetic movement. Now, the thing is, right, the FBA/ADOS movement had failed, just like a large portion of movements that started online have failed. One, because mainly motherfuckers have allowed idiots to fucking infiltrate the movement. What up, Doug? What's up, Doug? Salute, Doug. Yeah. I mean, like I said, Doug said, I remember some Jamaicans had an issue with her, but it was warranted because she was talking trash about Jamaicans. Yeah. I mean, like I said, Doug, I'm sure that some of the so-called black people that was talking bad about Sha'Carri Richardson in the past were of Caribbean or quote unquote African descent or non-black American descent. But to create a narrative to make it seem as if all or most of the blacks that was talking bad about Sha'Carri in the past were the quote unquote tethers, and that so-called black Americans in general was not talking bad about her. I say that is from that is so-called black people from both sides that was talking shit about her. That's what I'm saying. Overall, blacks in general were talking down on her. But you see, you have these. The thing is, you have these idiots from the ADOS and FBA movement who are so obsessed. You know, they're so infatuated with talking about black Americans versus Caribbeans or black Americans versus Africans or black Americans versus this people that they try to politicize every single conversation into this black American versus non-black American type of war. And listen, my video that I uploaded last night has nothing to do with black Americans versus non-black Americans. Okay, it has nothing to do with that with that bullshit. So do not come on my videos and try to politicize my videos with your false narratives. And if you're going to make a claim like that, you better come with evidence. Okay, see, that's the thing. When people come on here with these claims, I put them in a position to provide evidence to back up the bullshit that they're saying. And if they fail to provide evidence, then they end up looking stupid. Right, 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 MOT. Once I hear ADOS or FBA, I know I'm hearing some bullshit. But once again, this is what happens when idiots infiltrate online movements. When they infiltrate online movements, they've become so infatuated with the nonsense that they believe in that they try to turn any little thing, they try to flip anything into their little narrative. Just like how these idiots are coming on that video and trying to flip this into this black American versus non-black American civil war, which is not the intention of my video. It is unproductive. It is very unproductive. But then again, unproductive people are the ones who infiltrated those movements. As a matter of fact, the movement was created by unproductive people because Yvette Carnell was very unproductive before she got rich. Well, I wouldn't say rich, but before she made some money off of this ADOS propaganda. Yeah, exactly. Man of tomorrow. Same thing when idiots say criticizing the space. Exactly. 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 So I just want to make it known that when I posted that video about Sha'Carri Richardson winning the world championship a couple of days ago for track and field, and how a lot of so-called black people online are not are not putting emphasis or spending enough time and energy in talking about it, yet place a lot of energy in talking bad about her when she was going through her little struggles with, you know, marijuana addiction and what have you. It has nothing to do with the background of such people that was talking bad about her. It has a lot to do with the character of a lot of people having this crabs in a barrel mentality. When a lot of people on here will talk about you like a dog when you're doing bad, but as soon as you're victorious, not a lot of people will actually acknowledge that. So this has to do with the character of a lot of so-called black people on the internet when you don't have enough of them to acknowledge the accomplishment of another person, but yet They'll talk about you like a dog as soon as they hear some bad news about you. It deals a lot with character. It has nothing to do with whether or not if a person is a so-called Black American, or if a person is from the Caribbean, or if a person's from the continent, or if a person's from Europe, or what have you. So don't come on my shit trying to politicize my video into this FBA slash ADOS versus non FBA slash ADOS nonsense, man. Because that shit is so goddamn stupid. It's so funny how people are so infatuated with a topic like that, to the point of the fact that they'll try to turn any conversation into a ADOS slash FBA versus non ADOS slash FBA debacle. Nah, that's not gonna happen on my channel, man. Oh, word? You still can't see MOT in the chat? Oh man, I don't damn, I don't know why. Right, Jersey Hammer. Jersey Hammer says it would be amazing if these blacks spent more time hustling whites that they do blacks, where the black community would be. Exactly. Exactly. What up, Toya? What up, Toya? Chaos Rain, what's good? Let me see something. Let me see if I hold on. Does Doug have, I don't know if Doug has a wrench on my channel. Does Doug? All right, maybe, I don't know. Maybe Doug, if I give you a wrench, maybe you might be able to see Man of Tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why you and Man of Tomorrow can't see each other in the chat, but hey, yeah. But hey, that's unfortunate, but I don't know. Yeah, yeah. People who don't vote get caught up in the ADOS and FBA conversations. Yeah. If you guys, you guys who are you guys who are those of you who are obsessed with having that type of conversation, you can do that. You can do that shit elsewhere. Don't bring that shit on my channel. Don't bring that shit on my channel, man. Because that video about that I made about Sha'Carri Richardson, in which I uploaded last night, has nothing to do with this FBA slash non FBA debacle. All right. So bring that shit elsewhere. Don't bring it here. All right, guys. Peace out.